Hey everybody, High Lord Tamerlane back to show off some of my weekly painting progress. If I'm getting this stuff painted, so can you. So my first model this week that we got done is another of the Lost Valley Bones 4 expansion guys. This is the TRex Ti. And overall, I don't know why we went with the red scheme, and I'm wondering why we didn't lighten up his chest area, but at least he's tabletop ready and you can get some game action for the time being. I think I'm going to pick up another one of these when they come to retail and we'll lighten the skin up. Maybe I will still. I'm not happy with how his scars turned out either. But, you know, quick job, quick and dirty. I can show off his size there. He's a big model. I do like the fact, if you're not aware, and I'd already mentioned it, and you've seen the other Lost Valley expansion unboxings, these are the new harder bones black plastic. They're very rigid. There's not a lot of wiggle room to them. And nice flat base too, which is nice. Not the usual broccoli, cauliflower looking stuff. And another of the random pre-primed, easy to assemble, already assembled I should say. This is a Modron from WizKids Deep Cuts. It might have been Knowles' Marvelous Miniatures, because I do think the Modrons are a D&D model. I didn't know what to do with him, and his eye was very hard to figure out where exactly one part started and one part ended, so I just went with a really simple paint job. And he sat there for weeks and weeks now, and I could not get this stinking spear of his straightened out despite many attempts to warm it up and straighten it. It would just kind of revert to this. So we went with a really large base. I want to say it's a Reaper base. Yeah. From one of the Kickstarters that they tossed a bunch of extra bases in. So at least it's not an issue for poking the ground now. Alright, what other random stuff? A random malifaux prospector, and one eye came out really dark compared to the other. Maybe he's got a black eye or something. But this dude, if you're in the mood for another prospector model for Shadows of Brimstone, this guy is just fantastic. He's just an old coot with a big bushy beard and a little swath of hair sticking up there. Pretty simple model. He was another one that I sat there and looked at, and he languished on the table for at least a good couple of months before I finally finished him. It wasn't like it was a difficult paint job. I just kind of went with really simple colors. I don't know why. But he's done, so let's stick him there. Just in case you're curious. Here's how he racks up with a malifaux figure. I don't think I ever showed this dude off with that set, and with the Shadows of Brimstone model. So, I mean, he fits in really well if you want something funky. But we didn't paint you guys during the week. I think we can set aside our Inquisitor Witch Hunter friend there. And let's see what else we got. Another easily built pre-prime one-piece model. This is one of the Dragonborn. I don't think he's a paladin, probably a fighter from the Knowles' line as well. I really like the Dragonborn, in case I haven't ever made that clear. The reptiles are always my first choice in any game there is. And this one wasn't bad. I just realized that the ring that is on his back versus the ring on his front are two separate colors. Whoops, and I don't seem to have painted his claws or his teeth. I think you're going back on the painting table, my friend. Otherwise, you're pretty much done. He wasn't as bad as some of the other ones. Some of the other ones I painted were really difficult trying to figure out what was what part. So here's a model I haven't seen a lot painted of, and I really didn't know what to do with it, so I just kind of did whatever, and this is the Necromancer from Archon's new Starside game. So this was a giveaway at Adepticon. I think they had him for a giveaway at Salute. I've been trying to get a hold of the vampires they had at Salute, but I have not had much luck in that regard yet. He had a really funky construction where all these parts, there's like 3 or 4 parts at least, between the book, the hand, the spirit, the staff, and the shoulder pad all kind of connect and latch on to his body. So I went with just a really simple paint job. He does have a custom base that was attached. He's got like this weird Nagash skull thing going on down there. I didn't know what to do with his staff either, so I just kind of made it boring and generic. Very simple, very quick paint job, because I really didn't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll hang out with my Black Legion stuff at least. So that's him. Alright, what else we got? Alright. Let's move. One more one-piece model here. Even though our Starside friend wasn't. This is one of the Phrygian hero models from Battle Valor Games. hero pack, for lack of a better word. So he's obviously a 15 millimeter based on a penny, because pennies are cheaper than actual bases. So very simple paint job, and then just a nice, easy, simple sculpt. And I have a thing about wanting to paint a bunch of random 15 millimeter figures, and I blame Barzam entirely for that. So thank you very much, my brother. So simple and quick. Let's see what else we got. All right, moving on to the more complex stuff of the week. I have got Quietus. No, I think this is still considered Father Johann from Dark Ages. Finished Dark Age or Dark Age from Cool Mini. And this guy was supposedly a limited edition model. I believe there is a different sculpt available of him in the Cult of Metamorphosis box for the Scarred faction of Dark Age, but considering how difficult that is to get a hold of now, that might be a problem. It was bad enough trying to get a hold of this one. I don't know. He might be available somewhere else. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, the only way to get this version of the sculpt was their limited edition model. I know there's another version of him where he's got his arms, thrown out to the sides with the swords in his hands, but I really like this one. And I did put his scabbards on the wrong way, but I really like them sticking out more. I know they're supposed to lay more flat, and there's almost an indentation on his cape or his cloak or his jacket, whatever it is. But I figure, he doesn't have enough stuff flying in every direction. I really like that use of space he's taking up, especially with the extra claws and his arms the way they are, just in the cloak or his cape flowing one way. Now, the actual paint job on Cool Mini's website was much more fancy and dynamic than mine. Mine is very simple, but it's tabletop ready, and he looks decent. I think he looks decent enough. The base is done. All the wires and everything are finished, so I'm going to call it a day on Father Johann, I believe was the actual sculpt. Quietus might be somebody else. I don't know. I'm not up on my Dark Ages lore as much as I should be, despite owning a good chunk of the books. Maybe I'll read that over vacation once school's out. And then here's a model that I got done this week who has sat for months and months and months since she was first released, and this is the actual Kingdom Death Monk. And she was a first edition. I have the collector's card and everything for her. And I just did a crappy job. And first of all, I did a crappy job. I had used a different primer. I usually use the Tamiya stuff when I want to paint the resin models. But I tried some cheap one, and it totally just gunked up all over her face, and her face was very difficult to discern. I could not really see the details. And then I made a mess spilling a bunch of Agrax Earthshade, both on her and all over my counter that I like to paint at. So she had a lot going on against her. I just did a very, very simple base. This is the base that's included with her with the little frog. I probably should go back and do some more detailing there, but I was like, yeah, I want to just get her done. I wanted to do something else with the smoke as well. And it's kind of hard to tell from either the lighting or my coloring, but I wanted to go with a kind of Son Goku style color on her gi, lack thereof, but I don't know if it's really that obvious. Cool model overall. I'm happy I got her. She was a model that really jumped out at me, and then once I had her in front of me to paint, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, and finally, the piece de resistance that we got finished this week. I tried to get Abaddon tabletop ready, and with that said, I think I did a decent job. I mean, obviously, it's not as fancy as anything that's going to be on GW's website, but it's painted. And the colors look like they're all in the proper spots, and I think I got every little bit and doodad hanging off of him. I went with a really blue color scheme with the wires and stuff, but whatever. I did a crappy job on the face. He just has little dots for eyes. My brushes are gunked and crapped up, and I really need to get new ones, so I figured that's enough. Playing with washes on the sword that I forget the name of. Tried to match the Gene Stealer skull up with the ones that I have done for some of the other factions, and there's like a cobweb or something there. That's weird. Got the eye there. I mean, he was a fun model to build, but I'm happy to have him finished. I probably should have done something better on that gauntlet there. Not a huge problem. So he's done at least. Now, whether or not I actually get around to finishing Guman, that's a whole different story. So, a variety of sizes, scales, complexity, and materials. I think we got resin, we got metal, we got plastic. We got everything this week. Pre-primed, unprimed, crappy primed. So a nice little snapshot of things that are done. Once again, if I can get this stuff finished, there is no excuse. Don't sell yourselves short. Don't, go looking at Instagram and Facebook at all the magnificent painters unless it's going to motivate you. Sometimes it motivates me, usually it just depresses me because their stuff looks so much better than mine, especially looking at the Kingdom Death stuff. But you know what, screw it. I'm just going to keep on plugging away at it. I really do enjoy their models. So I hopefully will have some new stuff to show off next week, one way or the other. There will be something here. Keep painting. I've had a couple of you sending me photos too of the stuff you're finishing. Keep it up. And I'm going to keep plugging away as well. With that said, this is High Lord Tamerlane and Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and check out some of my other videos because I'm just going to keep on doing it whether you're watching them or not. See y'all later. Bye-bye.